In the farm we have 30 raised beds outside. They're about 1 metre wide and 5 metres long, and they all have these hoops over them so that we can cover them with mesh to keep insects out, especially on brassicas, or polythene to keep the warmth in, or at the moment midsummer to keep the rain off of some things. And then we have 3 large polytunnels. They're 7 metres wide and 17 metres long, each of them, and the 2 rear ones are in use to grow. The front one is a classroom. We catch water off them, there's the gutters. They catch about a ton of water off each side of the polytunnel for every 3/4 of an inch of rain. And moving inside, we've arranged it with 4 growing beds and 3 pathways, and these central beds have got raised in the winter, and they were hot beds full of fresh horse poo to keep the temperatures up. And this inner polytunnel structure, which we've rolled up out of the way for the moment to keep the heat in. That's my pillow drying out after a long, very wet day yesterday where we had 70 mils of rain. The great thing about having a growing centre essentially on a marsh is that the stuff growing directly in the ground, we don't need to water it once it gets beyond the seedling stage, because the roots get down and that's it, they're away. So that's very nice and convenient. And we're doing something different in the 3rd polytunnel, which you'll see in a minute. We've got tomatoes and peppers, chilies, and loads of courgettes across there of 4 different weirdy types, and flowers that we sell, much more flowers than we sell of the actual courgettes. And this thing here is just a finished bed of sugar snap peas, which Kaya the baby has eaten most of. Kaya is our main pest. She eats all the nice things. Over on this side we've got some interesting salads. And there's French beans growing up the poles. And we're just moving into the 3rd polytunnel here, which we've just got going. And we're doing something quite unusual in here, in that rather than raised beds and hotbeds for the winter, we've got 12 1-ton black water tanks. And the idea is, apart from storing rainwater, is to store the heat. So we hope to extend the season, and they'll store the heat, accumulate heat in the daytime and let it out when it's cooler at night, and keep the nighttime temperatures up. And we're growing on top of those beds. The left hand bed there is all basil. It's 8 different types of basil, and the right hand bed, the nearest thing to us, is ruby streaks and golden streaks oriental brassicas, which look very fab and very easy to grow, and the restaurants really like them. And we're not competing on price, because not many other places grow those things. These outer beds are raised, and just raising the bed warms it up in the spring, because we're not heating the whole of the ground. There's a disconnect to some extent between the ground temperature. This bed is salvia flowers. We sell a lot of salvia flowers to eat, and red broad bean flowers, which we grow just for the flowers. And this slightly funny looking, slightly unhappy looking red thing is amaranthi. Not quite sure why it looks funny, but it does. Some Thai basil there, looking a bit warm. This is a chicory, a vine in the corner. I'll give you a nice close-up of some of the basil, which is very much a pride and joy, and sells fantastically, grows really quickly and easily. 30 quid a kilo for a month of growing. Just needs a bit of warmth. This is This red one on over here is Iraqi, which is very nice in the salad mixtures. Lola Rosso and butterhead lettuce. Mazuma, cut and come again Mazuma. That looks terrible, but it's been cut a couple of days ago, and by next week it'll be ready for cutting again. Miss Puma at the back there, same thing. All these things are being really rigorously harvested. This thing we've lost the label for, but I'm pretty sure it's a pak choi or one of the oriental brassicas. Deer's tongue, relic lettuce, very popular. Rocket, lots of rocket. Coriander and Dill the dog. Oh, and hidden in the corner here we have two mysteries for you. That one is your lemongrass, and that one is your, what is it? It's a peanut.